Hello and welcome. Today I would like to talk about oneness because we have recently set up a Facebook group called From Oneness to NeuroGraphica. And Krista has already explained NeuroGraphica, what that is and what that all means, and how to work with NeuroGraphica. Now, we have chosen the word oneness instead of awakening or spirituality, but it's all the same in a sense. So you hear a lot, or I hear a lot lately about, or not lately, for a long time, we are all one. But what does that actually mean? Obviously, if I look around, I see different bodies, different things. So there's multiplicity and diversity. There are different things and different bodies. So we can't be one in a physical sense. That makes sense, obviously, right? So if we go deeper, in the sense of oneness, if I would ask you right now, are you aware? You would have to answer yes. Obviously, you are aware. You're listening to those words I'm speaking. I'm listening to my own words. So in a sense, we share, we can say that we share awareness or consciousness, or the knowing of our experiences. So in that sense, that's our shared reality, awareness or consciousness, which is the ground of all experience, of all existence. Out of consciousness, experience arises, it is known by consciousness, and ultimately made of consciousness. So there, in that sense, we talk about oneness. In religious terms, you could call it God. Scientific terms, you could call it consciousness. Spiritual terms, we talk about awareness. Now, what's the opposite to oneness? Obviously, it's separation. We experience the world as a subject and objects of experience. So there's a dividing line. No, the camera went all fuzzy. No, that's back to normal. Okay. So in all of our experiences, we're already establishing boundaries. And we set ourselves up for experiencing separation, if you want. There's here the subject, which is aware of an object. There's the seer, there's the seen, and the activity of seeing. But if you look closer in your own experience, is there really a boundary? Where does seeing take place? Out there at a distance from yourself, from the subject? Or is it intimately close to you? Seeing takes place, I can say in my own experience, seeing takes place within my awareness, or within awareness. It's not even my awareness, it's in awareness. And if we go deeper, that experience is known. So there's the knowing of my experience. So there we can say that already separation or borders or distinctions collapse if we dive deeper into self-inquiry. So there on this way, we can also arrive at a sense of oneness. All experience arises within within awareness, whether it's thinking and imagining, sensing and feeling the body, or perceiving the world, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. It's all arising in awareness, it's known by awareness, and ultimately made of awareness. There's nothing outside of awareness. So we talk about oneness in that sense, by going deeper into self-inquiry. Who am I? What is reality? And we need to start on our journey of inquiry. We need to start with what I would call the collective shadow aspect of separation, because that's our main aspect, our main shadow aspect, which is at the root cause of our suffering, I would say. A sense of separation. And that sense of separation is is rooted in a belief, deeply seated belief in fragmentation. We firmly believe that we are fragments floating around in the universe, separate from source, separate from others, separate from ourselves. You know, we are firmly believing that we are born in a pre-existing universe, sharing the limits and the destiny of the body and the mind. So that deeply seated belief forms our reality, forms our perception. We project this, and that's what we perceive. That makes up our experience. But if we investigate and go deeper and deeper and deeper, we come to the realization, we have to, that everything is one, that everything is just, not just, everything is the knowing of my experience, or the awareness of being aware, the knowing of knowing. So that sense of fragmentation inherent in there is that one constantly tries to relieve a lack of a sense of lack and inadequacy. It's a deeply seated sense that we are lacking something. We want to fill that lack, whether it's through the acquisition of things or relationships. We feel we don't have enough time, not enough money, not enough recognition, and so on. And also there's a sense of inadequacy. I'm not good enough. I want to become better. You know, and the religion has reinforced that belief, you know, in the sinner concept. So you have to do certain things, or you have to achieve certain states in order to become better and better. And eventually you arrive at a state where you can be happy or okay again. But in the meantime, you're not okay. That's a false belief. Because inherent in that feeling of oneness, there's also the feeling or the realization of wholeness. So essentially, I'm whole, I'm healed, and you can say holy. There's a sacredness in that space, or knowingness. And we are conditioned from the beginning to project this sense of lack and inadequacy. And that projection, we can call it resisting and seeking. We resist constantly what is here right now. We don't like it. It doesn't feel okay because I haven't found my inner core, and I haven't received, not connected with that deep-seated joy or happiness or inner peace. Because my attention, my focus is always, call it out there. So we're seeking a different state. We're seeking something different. We want something what's over there in a projected future. We're not happy with a perceived past. And we're not happy with what's right here in front of us. So we don't live in the present moment, not connecting with our sense of oneness, and therefore we're resisting and seeking, resisting what is, seeking what is not. So if we pay attention to those attributes and engage in deep self-inquiry, we can come to the realization that we are always here and now, and everything is okay. Resisting doesn't make sense in the first place, because what appears in our experience right here and right now already exists. It's already here. So why would you resist it? What is that resistance? That resistance is nothing but another thought, another concept, another belief saying, I don't like it. My happiness has to be found over there, not right here. But they're all distractions keeping us in the state of separation and not focusing our attention on the sense of oneness. Because that's where our peace and happiness lies. And if you ask anyone on the planet, or in this world, I should say, what's your number one goal you are looking for? Why do you do all those things? In order to find happiness, they would say. So happiness cannot be found out there in things or different states. Happiness and inner peace would be another word, deep-seated, uninterrupted, deep-seated inner peace, can only be found when we end the seeking and stop resisting. And in that, there shines our oneness, the awareness itself, the knowing of experience. So we talk about oneness in that sense. And in order to practice or do call it a spiritual practice or a mindfulness practice, is clear seeing and clear sensing. Clear seeing what is and clear sensing and feelings. It's about the body. Seeing and hearing, perceiving, it's the world. And clear seeing and sensing our stream of thoughts. Sense of inner peace or oneness or happiness cannot be found in thought. So mindfulness practice also consists of finding the gap between the thoughts. And you might have heard this before from other people talking about it. Finding the breath and focusing on the breath. For instance, there's always a gap between exhale and inhale, and also within our stream of thoughts. It's leaving the mind or the activity of thinking alone, just leaving it as it is, but through the practice of mindfulness, focusing our attention on the stillness, the oneness within. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained a little bit about what we mean by oneness in our Facebook group. Hope that makes sense. Thank you for listening, and we see you in one of our next videos. Bye for now.